welcome to the second episode of Kate and Omega. How's everybody feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Good.
I made the second episode. I'm lit.
Yeah.
I feel really excited for this time that we get to spend with you.
Mm-hmm.
How you feeling over there, Omega?
Outstanding.
Good.
Outstanding.
Amazing.
Yep.
So we're really excited to dive into a story of inspiration this afternoon. I'm really excited and humbled to share the story of Moe Badger. For those of you that don't know, he's pretty extraordinary. He is known as the Buffalo Singing Cop, who many have recognized on his appearance from the Ellen DeGeneres show. But there is so much more to Moe's story.
Mm-hmm.
He serves our community as a police officer. He is a church pastor. Moe, welcome to our podcast today.
Oh, I'm happy to be here, man. I feel at home already, so I'm ready to go. Let's get it.
Good.
All right, so first, let's talk about, before we get into Moe, let's talk about what happened last time, since last podcast.
Yeah,
right?
So that's beautiful that you brought that up.
She's about to forget.
I was. I already was.
I got you back, girl. I got you back.
That's what friends are for.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so you tell me. So you start with you, and then I'll get into, what.
Okay. So I was really pleased.
Okay.
I was actually a little overwhelmed. It felt really fun. The whole process has been fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Just being immersed in the creative process from inception to the visual that we had in our brain as far as what we wanted it to look like.
Right.
I think that I was most inspired by the feedback that we've received.
Okay, cool,
so
cool.
It just makes me feel really good about the mission of continuing to bring inspiring stories and kind of showcase how beautiful this community is.
Okay, cool. One
One of the things that I wanted to ask you though is how have you been? What's your world been like since the launch?
All right, so I think since the last podcast, I went to Boston, I think, for my birthday.
Yes.
Right. So I went to Boston for my birthday.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Went skydiving.
Happy birthday, Omega.
That was wild.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
That was wild. So a lot of people are saying I could never do that, or you a wild boy, you crazy. But I just feel like, I would say the past few years of my life, I had a lot of highs and lows, and I haven't been doing a lot of daring things lately.
Yeah.
So I figured on my birthday, let me just jump out the sky and see what it feels like jumping out of the sky. Can I get any higher? You know what I'm saying? So me doing that, I'm yes, I can get higher. I can go higher than that. So did that, and then I had a lot of party with my homies and stuff like that. Going back home, it's good to always go back home and get back to my roots and be reminded where I'm from. Be reminded of the resilience. Be reminded of the champions. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from. You know what I mean? But also bring that energy back here to the city of Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to share with us what your revelation was when you jumped out that airplane?
Like I told you before, can I get any higher than this? And then
Limitless.
I'm limitless. You know what I'm saying? So, but I kind of always had that philosophy, but sometimes you gotta remind yourself. You always gotta need a reboot.
Yeah.
And I haven't had that in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that whole purpose was.
I love that.
My catchphrase is, the sky is not the limit, it's the minimum.
It's the minimum. There you go.
I love that.
For sure.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
love that.
And then, me doing the magic behind the scenes, and everyone been saying the podcast is great. And they said they could see the chemistry. Also, and then a lot of my friends that are girls are saying, "Oh, tell Kate she's so beautiful."
Oh, thank you, girls. That always feels
You know what I'm saying?
nice.
So yeah, so that's what's up.
Yeah, we've had some really nice feedback, so it's been beautiful.
We're keep going.
Yeah, for sure. So we're really excited to have you here, Moe.
I'm happy to be here.
You have the rare ability to bring people together, not just in your work as an officer, but also the voice that you use in your ministry. So what would you say service means to you personally?
Service is everything. I've watched my dad serve since I was a kid. Literally, all I remember my dad doing since I can remember is serving, him and my mom. So that was ingrained in me from a kid. So that was only second nature for me and my brother to grow up in that, to do the same thing. My brother's a Buffalo public school teacher, also a pastor at our church. So For me to kind of transition to becoming a civil servant, it was kind of easy. And I always knew like my goal was never to arrest people, really make a lot of money. It wasn't about that. It was really to engage the community and change the perspective of the way they see policing.
So you never arrest anybody?
Oh, I've arrested hundreds of people. But you know what I'm saying? Like nobody can ever say Moe disrespected him. Moe treated me bad.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's the thing for me. Like I remember I was doing sound at one of the like clubs. So I do sound on the side. So I'm like doing the sound and fixing the mics. Right. And a guy comes up to me like kind of aggressively and is like, hey, yo, man, you Moe Badger? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you remember me? I'm like, oh, shoot.
Oh,
He's like, man, you arrested me. I just got back from doing 5 years.
Yeah. Oh.
He's like, man, can I buy you a shot?
Wow.
He's like, basically, I put myself in that predicament, but you always treated me like a man. You didn't disrespect me. Even when I was yelling at you, you just kind of laughed it off. Yeah. And then before the end, we were slapping each other up like, man, if you make it through this, you know what I mean? And he came out, he's like, I appreciated the way you treated me. So it meant a lot
beautiful.
to me. Yeah, that's what it's about for me.
That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. That's facts.
You've been able to touch lives through your singing, both in your day-to-day duties and larger platforms like Ellen. Mm-hmm. What role has music played in your life, and how did you discover that your voice could be a tool for connection?
I actually, as far as a church kid, like a church kid, like I kind of started singing kind of late. I played the drums for years.
He's multifaceted. He plays the drums, keys.
Yeah. So vocals. I was playing the drums. So I was just playing the drums for my church and, a few local, bands and stuff like that. And like abruptly, the person that used to sing a lot left. So I would sing like backgrounds, but I never like sung out in the forefront because I really, still to this day, don't think I have a great voice.
Okay.
But, the people.
Which is true. I'm
telling you, I'll be honest. I don't think I have a great voice.
Moe do his thing.
But it's, I think I have ability to connect because I give my all through it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like when I sing,
he leaves it on the stage. He leaves it on the stage.
Yeah. There's passion there because I understand, especially when I'm singing about God, how much he's done for me. Yeah. And how much I owe him. I owe him everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I give everything when I sing.
Yeah.
Moe leaves everything on the stage. I've been there a few times watching him perform. And he definitely leaves everything on the stage. That's for sure.
That's beautiful. Because it's service inside of
for sure.
Your talent. When would you say, because I asked this question to everybody, that you knew what your calling and your purpose was?
I mean, early.
Really?
Yeah. I knew I was called to impact, especially youth and people from a young age. I remember I gave my first sermon at this big event called City Fest back in the day here. And it was probably like 1,500 to 2,000 people. I was like 13, 14 years old.
Wow.
I was the keynote speaker, spoke for like an hour. So I knew, that I was called to, impact souls. But, through that, I had my own stuff that I went through and, and ups and downs and, pitfalls and getting up and wiping myself off and getting up and wiping myself off. But at the same time, I always knew that there was more for me. So there was always, no matter how low I got, I knew there was purpose for me that I had to fulfill eventually.
I love that.
Yeah. Purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose. I was also just thinking while you were speaking about, it would be interesting for me to see Omega as a young saxophone player and you as a young drummer.
I know, right? It's crazy. I ain't picking it back up though. I had the alto. No, I had the soprano was broken.
Okay.
Which try to get it fixed, but I went and bought an alto. So I'm just getting right back to it.
Okay. When it got you an alto, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So I gotta hear you, man.
Yeah.
Like my cousin plays for Najee.
I know.
So I mean, I love saxophone.
What plays sax with Najee or the drums?
He plays the drums.
Yeah, D-Pon. Yeah. That's my man. I know D-Pon forever, man.
Yeah.
The first time I actually met D-Pon, I'm gonna just go quick story real quick. So he ran for Talbert, Bernie Talbert. He ran for sheriff. You remember Bernie Talbot?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He ran for sheriff. So he invited me to an all-exclusive black affair. It was one of those like alpha sci-fi, like one of the fraternities, like his fraternity. So I went there and he was playing drums there.
Yeah.
And I was like fairly new into Buffalo.
Area.
Yeah,
Right,
I was maybe like 3-4 years in.
Right.
And he was playing the drums and I was like, yeah, man. I said, I do this, I do that. And he's like, all right, Rob, don't be selling me no Wolf tickets.
Yeah, that sounds like
And I was like, okay, all right. And then I started playing with him for the Music Arts Festival, and then I just did a show with him at the thing. But that's how I initially met him. But I didn't realize how ill he was until I really started to see him play. He's crazy.
I get to hear him every Sunday.
Yeah,
he's crazy.
And Rashawn used to play with Najee too, right? Bass.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so
Rashawn, he just got, shout out to Ray. He just got inducted into the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame.
Rashawn, right?
Yeah.
So Rashawn put me on. Yeah,
That's
so
my guy.
Rashawn put me on.
He played on my first recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Rashawn was one of the first musicians I met here. And he introduced me to all the top musicians here in Buffalo.
We're all connected. Not that I'm a top musician, but we're all connected. Like there's no, like that's when I see somebody come in that's good and I haven't seen them, like, you're not from here. Because I know all the good musicians, all the good singers. Right. So yeah, it's a tight knit community.
Yeah, very tight.
And even if like you don't know somebody at the time, you know somebody that now like knows somebody, or your stories intertwine. Like there's been so many times like you're like, oh, I know that person.
Yeah.
I know that person.
It's like half a degree of separation in Buffalo.
Yeah.
No,
I know for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
So your work must require a lot of emotional and spiritual resilience, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
How has your faith guided you through your difficult moments?
It's everything. My faith is everything. That's whether I was working at Say Yes and doing, wraparound services for kids and having to go into homes that were infested with roaches or, bed bugs or whatever it may be, all the way to on this side of the spectrum, dealing with my first homicide being a kid that I coached and seeing him take his last breath.
Wow.
But at the same time, I have to know that the burdens that I would take on, that a lot of police officers take on, especially that leads us to one of the highest rates of suicide.
Yeah,
right. So I have one question for you when it comes to that. So, me being in the military, I'm not, I was in the military and I've seen a lot of action, So how is it when you actually see somebody die, right? Do you have to go through counseling after you're done through that whole process?
Okay, this may sound a little cold, but I'm kind of like immune to it. Like,
in the beginning, though.
Yeah,
like,
but so this was the thing. So it's funny. This is a funny story.
I know that
when I first got on, they knew I was like into church or whatever.
Right.
So the first, not homicide, but just DOA that we had.
Right.
We go up the stairs and we show up and the whole family knows me.
Right.
So they're like, oh my God, it's Moe. Moe, you have to pray. Blah, blah. So so all the officers are laughing at me. I'm praying. We're having a prayer circle as this lady has passed away. And, I have to carry her downstairs and they're like, well, you have to stay with the body. I'm like, okay. But I sing at
funerals.
I don't know how many funerals I've sung at. Thousands, literally thousands of funerals over the last 20 years. So I'm able to detach myself from it. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to sing at my grandfather's funeral. You know what I'm saying? I had to be able to get through that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a God-given ability that God is really giving me a way to like, okay, decompress right now and you can deal with it later.
All right. How about when you first started and you first seen your first death and you've actually seen that person take their last breath?
But it hurt because I knew him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That was one of my kids. Like
right.
I saw him 2 weeks before and I just got on. He couldn't believe that I was a police officer to start.
Right.
And I told him, listen, man, I hear there's money on your head. I'm hearing this in the streets. Like, oh, no, coach, I ain't doing nothing, man. I'm chilling. 2 blocks away from where I said that from, I saw him take his last breath. Yeah. So that was tough because like his mom showed up, she's screaming my name, Moe, is that my son? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna be honest with you, just because of all the people I know, that's happened at least 40 times where I go somewhere and either I know the victim or I know the whole family of the victim.
Right.
So it's always, you know, but I think God has given me grace to be able to help people and be compassionate and empathize with what they're going through.
That's for sure. I give that to you. I give that to you. You definitely do that.
Yeah,
you definitely do that. All right, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, appreciate it.
That kind of it rolls into my next question as far as in today's world, where there can be tension between communities and law enforcement.
Sure.
How do you use your role and your voice? I mean, you just sort of gave us some examples of that to bridge those divides and inspire others.
I mean, it's so many ways. You have to be wise, but I mean, one way I do it, like, that's why I work in the schools now.
Okay.
I chose to go to school resource because I felt like, you know, it could be a kindergarten teacher that showed me years ago to their kids, 5 years ago when I was on Ellen, and now this kid is 11 and like, oh no, I saw you on Ellen. That's an automatic connection.
Yeah.
That kids don't have with police officers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I remember I was driving down the street probably like 3 weeks ago, and probably a 16, 17-year-old kid F the police.
Okay.
As I drive by, and I'm like, usually I laugh, but you know, it's just something I trust my instincts.
Yeah.
So at that time, I whipped back around, pulled up on him real fast. Hey, why you say that? Man, I don't F the police. Do you know me?
Right.
He's like, no, I'm here to support you. I'm here to serve you. I'm serving you. So why you want to F me? He's like, man, but everybody. I said, yeah, don't box everybody into that. And we wind up having a good conversation, having a good dialogue, slapping each other up. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm not saying I do that every time.
Right.
But I do, a big part of what I do is trusting the God in me and the instincts.
Yeah, I pull up on people too when they be like, F Rob, F Omega Red. I pull up on them too. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm a hybrid.
In a hybrid with discretion.
With discretion.
You know what I mean? But I call Moe the new age cop. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely like, for me, like he's one of a kind. I never seen a police officer like him before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the impact has to be just beyond measure if you think about it. You know?
I mean, I don't know. Like when you're in it, it's hard to like say how much of an impact you're having. But I know, like, I mean, for me, it's just a day-to-day thing. Some people act like, oh, you know, it's just like you do a song, like I did that song in 5 minutes. They're like, yo, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard for us to really feel that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do appreciate it.
Is there a particular moment, maybe in your police work or your ministry, that stands out, especially meaningful or transformative?
I mean, in police work, it was definitely going on Ellen.
Yeah.
You know, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like that was a world when we went from, you know, just kind of regular police officers to we're in Portugal and people knowing who we are. You know what I'm saying? So that it's just crazy. Like there's nowhere I've ever been that, you know what I'm saying, like since that somebody doesn't come to me, hey, were you on the Ellen?
Yeah.
You know, so it's an opportunity to, you know, like I said, still break those barriers and break walls down. Yeah. And what we do, not only in policing, but in ministry.
Yeah. Now, what's your preference, Kate and Omega or Ellen?
Definitely Kate and Omega.
Oh, thank you.
There you go.
It's not even close. Like, what are we talking about?
What was it like, though? Was it really dope?
Oh, man, she was dope, man.
I've heard really good
you've
things.
heard these stories. Like, it was nothing like that. Literally.
Yeah.
Like, we had a ball. Like, she was like, listen, you're part of the Ellen family. If you ever need us,
that's what's up.
Call us. You know, we're here for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she like, and we have another close friend of ours. He's a principal in New Jersey. Okay. And he was on the show probably 3 times. We only did it once. So like he was on Amazing Race with us.
Okay.
So Principal Akbar. So like literally, like we have the same story. Like, man, she furnished his whole school. I mean, built a laundromat in their school. Wow. Just all types of stuff.
Didn't you get a check though too?
Yeah, we got a check for 10 grand.
Good.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's just to help the kids.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
You know, so we're able to do a free basketball basketball league for the high schoolers. We did some other outreaches. We do, like, we're coming up now, we're doing free, we give giveaways for Christmas time. So like, you know, we're going to do like Christmas caroling, you know, coming out with the singing cops,
I love
Christmas caroling,
that.
going through neighborhoods in the mall and stuff and giving away gifts.
Oh, I love
Where can
that.
people go to like donate
Yeah.
to your mission?
The best way to probably do it is to go through my church.
Do your
'Cause
church.
like
Where's your
my
church at,
mom-
Mo?
My church is 1080. Oh my God, it's not 1080. 1365 Main Street. 1080 is where I do my show. WFO. 1365 Main Street. Right around the corner, right there on Main Street. But my mom does
love
all
that.
my charitable stuff.
What's the name of the
So
church?
she runs it. Bethesda World Harvest International Church. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
you.
welcome.
Yeah, Bethesda World.
Amazing.
But my mom, like, she's like, Rob has met my mom.
Yes.
And like,
Aw.
she's just like, she's like, literally, she has a post now of her whole truck filled with toys already.
Amazing.
Like, it's already started.
I love this.
And we don't do it till the end of December. So
Yeah.
Yep.
like that's what she does. And we let her stay in her lane and we just support her and give her money to
I
do
love
it.
that. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love it. What advice would you give our young generation, whether they're looking to serve their community, explore music, find their passion, find their calling in faith? What's the top things that you like to discuss?
Find their calling, find their faith, find
All of it.
all of that. It's being you.
Yes.
Right? Like nobody can be you better
Mm.
than you. Don't be anybody else. Like I'm so confident in who God has made me at 5'4"
Thank
and a
you.
half. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing. Like I don't like. I was with a guy,
How tall are you?
5'4" and a half,
Oh,
bro.
5'4" and a half, okay.
And I'm confident.
Yeah.
I'm confident in that.
In Hollywood, I notice a lot of people are short. They have a insane amount of confidence.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
Kevin Hart.
I call it Godfidence.
No, I don't-
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like God is made. I'm fearful. It's everybody's. We're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
No,
So if you
God
can't
is-
walk in that,
It's
Yes.
true,
like you're
true.
disrespecting God.
Yeah.
What about the
Yes.
kids though? So
Yes.
what about the kids? So me growing up, I've had this like the same, the same calling, but
Yeah.
I went twisted
I know,
toward.
I know, but you
So,
still call it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you know. So it's like, what about the people that don't realize they have that purpose? Oh, by the way, Mo's dad and his really good friend grew up together, and his dad's Pedro Castro
Yeah.
is preaching at my hometown church
Wow.
in Boston.
I'm
I'm
telling
saying
you,
Grant A&E.
half
So-
a degree of separation.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And in
So-
Boston, they go all the way to Boston.
Boston,
It's amazing.
So
It's
I gotta call
amazing.
Pedro Castro Pedro. I apologize. I gotta give you a call. I will give you a call. You've been calling me.
But really, it's just finding yourself. Who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And walking
why,
in that.
But why can't a lot of people? Why are a lot of people having a hard time with that?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
Because everyone has these gifts. Everyone
Yeah.
has gifts.
Yeah.
everybody has a gift.
So is it because the neighborhood and the communities making them feel like the gift that they're trying to do, man, that's not cool, or
It could be. I mean, I knew I could sing kind of, but like there was a certain stereotype of singers in the church that I
Yeah.
didn't, so I'm like, nah, I ain't singing. You know what I'm saying? I play the drums.
right,
That's
right.
what I do.
Okay, so what is that called? What do they call it? When you sing secular music.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were talking about singing like secular music, and you was like, nah, I'm gonna chill.
Just singing in general.
Just
I
singing,
just,
yeah.
kind of like, I play the drums. That's what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like you have to find out who you are, right?
Yeah.
And I know that like for some people, it's like I'm trying, like you said, how do you do it? That's a good question. But I think, it's tapping into that higher power.
Power,
Yeah.
power.
If you tap into him and you allow him to speak into you,
Yeah.
or whatever if you call it him, her, whatever you want to say, if you allow that higher power to speak into you, that's how you find out who you are.
Yep.
Okay, so I know I had the highest power speak into me,
Yeah.
but I didn't really ask
Yeah.
for him to speak into me. It just,
Some people are blessed like that.
yeah.
But that's not everybody.
not
Yeah.
everybody, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like a lot of people, I say, hey man, go home, lay on
Go
your,
home, go
lay on
home,
your
go
bed, and close your eyes and
Yeah.
say, who am I?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's an innate part of you that will rise up and say, yo, this is who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all have that confidence. We're all,
Yeah.
we're all called to be something.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're
Yes.
not, so you guys just got to tap into it.
Yeah.
Find your purpose.
Look, like this.
Find your
like,
purpose
I'm
like
sitting
this.
here talking about
Right.
being a police officer
Exactly.
and people are intrigued about it. Like,
Right.
like you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I literally, took this job just saying, I just want to be impactful. But God had a whole nother
Oh,
story
man.
for me.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I remember when I got on, they would kind of get mad at me for smiling on the job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They be like, why are you smiling? I'm like, because I smile.
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop smiling because I'm a police officer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop being one. This job doesn't define me.
Okay,
God
cool.
does.
So what you are actually doing is you're being a disruptor within your own, the police force.
Yes, I mean,
in your own way.
Not saying like you're disrupting.
But
you're
I
showing
hear you.
you're showing a different side.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like cops, all cops aren't what are portrayed or stereotyped
Militant and all that.
You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like I got a lot of police people in my family too as well. You know what I'm saying? And I never seen. I see both sides, but I know there's good police officers out there. So I think that's the main thing that you're doing. You're showing that there aren't like all bad police officers.
Oh, for sure.
And you're a performer, and you do this and you do that. You can do multiple like faceted things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm like a jack of all trades, master of none.
Far-reaching.
I'm a master of none, except for loving people. I'm a master at loving people. I do believe that, but I do a lot of things. I don't think I'm the best at any of them, but
Yep.
This is beautiful. This is a really
You like this? You
great
like this?
conversation.
Cool. You all right?
So appreciate it.
This going okay?
Yeah, it's going great. Thank you for checking. So this is the time where we always do something a little bit different. Have you ever played the game? And Omega, you're in on this too.
Oh, I'm in it too.
Yeah, you're
all right.
in
Let's
it.
go.
So it's either or. So I give you a very simple two words, and you basically what resonates the most.
this was not in the rundown.
I
for
know
Dave.
it wasn't.
This is
It's
a
a surprise for you,
All right.
Mars.
Okay, cool. Let's get it.
Passion or stability?
That's
I
damn. I mean, like you didn't want to like warm up.
Nope, we're jumping in it. We're going
Passion or
in deep.
stability.
Come on, make
This
a
is the
choice,
deep-
Mo.
The deep
This
end,
is
Mo.
when you have to make a choice.
Me,
Yeah,
it's,
you
me,
can't have
it's,
your cake and eat it
me it's
too.
gonna be passion, but you
Okay.
ask my wife, it's gonna be stability. But it's definitely passion for me.
Okay, what about you? Oh,
Yeah, I have passion because
Okay.
I have stability.
okay. Truth.
No, it's either or. It's not.
No,
like,
you mentioned your wife.
no, I'm saying she would
guys
choose
are both-
stability.
You said you just said
Just say
passion, stability.
passion.
You said passion, but my wife would say stability, and I say passion because I do have stability now.
That. Okay.
You guys aren't
Come
really
on, Mo,
playing.
don't mess with me, Mo, man.
You're
Well,
not
you started on the phone earlier, man. Like, by the way, Rob, we won.
You're not really playing the game right. You're worried about your wife, and you're worried
Mo
about.
gotta go. All right, go ahead.
I'm just kidding.
I'll be
No,
on my
I'm-
Shout out
defense.
to
good.
Queen Elizabeth Badger. I love you,
Yes.
baby. I love my kids. I forgot to talk my kids.
Yes.
London, Armand Jr., we call him Truck, Brooke, and Michael, and my grandson Zachariah. We love you.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
seen
boy.
the reel when everyone was singing. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Got a talented family.
I love it. I love it so much. Truth or comfort, Mo?
Truth. Truth.
Omega.
Truth.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Intuition or logic?
Intuition. So just to explain that,
Yeah.
for me, it's gonna be intuition because a lot of things that happen in my life are illogical,
Right.
right?
The brain's
So,
logic.
yeah.
The heart is intuition.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say intuition.
Mm.
I would say intuition.
Growth or security?
Growth.
Growth.
Yeah. Forgiveness or moving on?
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
You sure?
Yep.
Legacy or
I
experience?
forgive, but I don't forget, Mo.
Well, you go through a process to get to the forgiveness part.
Hmm?
You go through a process to
Yeah.
get to the forgiveness. Legacy or experience? I don't really know that.
I'll say legacy because I got the experience now.
Yeah.
So now it's time to build the legacy.
But that's not how the game works. You have to choose either or. It's not
You
saying,
started it,
I
Mo.
have this, so I can do that. It's just you have to choose
All right,
one or the other.
I would say legacy.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go with legacy.
I like legacy. Legacy's far reaching.
Yeah, for sure. And it goes beyond
It
it.
goes beyond.
Yeah.
Adventure or routine?
Adventure. Like, are we serious?
Yeah,
That's easy.
come on now.
Venture.
Okay. I do like a little routine though in my life. Creativity or structure?
Creativity.
Creativity.
Love or freedom?
Freedom.
Freedom. I go with love.
I go with love too, all day. Self-discovery or self-acceptance?
Self-acceptance.
Yeah.
Self-discovery.
Fear or courage?
Courage.
Courage.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Courage.
And then finally, impact or recognition?
Impact.
I would say impact as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this has been beautiful.
Hmm.
Was there, before we kind of end, is there any thoughts that you may have, Mr. Omega, on our story of inspiration today?
Mo, where can everyone find you? Like social media?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Is there going to be like a little thing that comes up?
We could do that if we
can make some arrangements.
I think Mr. Cruz
You can read right
I
here.
feel like we can accommodate
can
your
make it
needs.
happen.
Yeah.
Moe Badger on all outlets. So that's MoeBadger. MoeBadger, right? That's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. What else? Whatever, any platform.
Okay.
And that's my
Instagram?
email. So
Okay.
I mean, you can
Okay.
reach me anyway. Just put Moe Badger and you'll find me.
Okay.
All right, and then what else what you got coming up in the next couple of weeks or months?
It's funny. I've been doing a lot more speaking and preaching.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, so I got to go out of town a few times.
Okay.
I'm speaking at some churches and doing some motivational speaking.
Do you
as
know
well,
where?
some
I
conferences.
mean, our podcast is gonna reach across the nation.
Yeah, I'll be in San Francisco,
Okay.
There you go.
Tennessee,
Okay.
Charlotte.
Okay. And if people got information
Raleigh,
they want to figure out, they can like
Yeah,
look you up on social media.
it'll be on my social
Okay,
media.
cool.
But yeah, I mean, also, stay tuned. We're gonna be doing like the caroling, which is always like when we carol, it's like it's lit, man. Like
Okay.
people come up to us in tears, like I haven't heard carols since I was a kid, or you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
So it's a really cool situation. So we're working on that now, and we're gonna get like a couple days to rehearse with whoever comes. It's usually like sometimes it'll be 70 people.
Wow.
Okay.
You know, we'll do like just mob them all and just start singing
That's
throughout the
wild.
mall or whatever it
Amazing.
may be.
So it's sort of like what is it called? The flash
Flash
mob?
mob,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah,
I
flash
love
the
that.
Kinda
caroling
like that.
mob.
But
You
yeah.
know?
But I have some even bigger ideas this year. Like I'm gonna have like the Sopranos up on the top deck and the altos
Oh, yeah.
down there, and
Wow,
then
that's
the
wild.
Sopranos will just start singing, then the altos will fill in, then the tenors will start walking in. So just doing some different things.
Cool.
But just to cheer up, people's spirit. Like
I love that.
like you said, even with my nieces and my daughter singing the other day, I had people hitting me up like, man, like they need to do that more. I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I mean, and you never know what impacts people.
You don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I mean, the simplest thing can change somebody's
Yeah.
I
life or
noticed that.
their day,
It's the power of pushing out positive content.
Yeah, for sure.
Positive.
And I think if we just stick to that script, all the noise drops.
Yeah. They call it now good vibes. Good
Yeah,
vibes.
and it's true,
good
though.
Vibes.
Good vibes.
Yeah. So Mo, your story is a testament to the power of faith and service and using your gifts to uplift others.
Mhm.
So with deep appreciation, I wanted to thank you for joining us today
My
and
pleasure.
allowing the people and the people that follow our podcast in this community to understand, just the dynamics that your role embodies. It's an inspiration. And I'm just really pleased and happy to have met you and, be part of your story today.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, I felt at home. I appreciate you welcoming me, and I got to check out your last one, and I'm like, yo, y'all. I mean, for it to be y'all just starting,
Yeah.
like y'all lit.
Thank you.
Y'all doing y'all
Thank
thing.
Trying to make it
So-
happen.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
enjoying
Also,
it.
be on the lookout for Mo collaboration with Omega Red. I've been talking about it. But
Yes, let's
I'm
do
staying
it.
still a little bit.
Let's
so
see if that really happens.
It was gonna happen. I've been on the road, brother.
No doubt.
I've been jumping out of planes and being in mountains and rivers
Yeah,
and
for sure.
stuff like that. But me and Mo I have a really special song I want to do with
Yeah,
Mo.
he has a
It's
good track.
called
It's a
Daddy's
good
Little
track.
Girl. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be. I feel like he's I take my time with my music too because
Yeah,
my
you
music's
do.
timeless. You
Yeah.
know. So it's like I wait to find the right person to be on a record. So I'm excited to have Mo on it.
I love it.
I'll be honored as well too. I'm also honored.
Yeah, so man, I
you.
like I said, I thank y'all for having me on. And I look forward to one day coming back.
I would love
for
that.
sure.
Yeah, for sure. You're always welcome. And also, as far as whatever community, events that you have going on, the toy drive, we would love to be a part of that as well.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna hold you to it now.
Okay, absolutely.
Right,
Share some joy.
No doubt.
So, and to our listeners, we hope that you enjoyed this last stretch of space and time with us as much as we have. We would love if you would like and subscribe and talk about us with your friends.
Subscribe.
If you are interested in being part of our podcast, we're also always looking for stories of inspiration and purpose. You can contact Kate at sharemorejoy.com. And we appreciate you so much. Share joy and
stay grinding.
I'm a holler.